terrify, and even hypnotize some of the gentlest and most terrifying sharks on the planet. Besides his passion for leadership, Ascanio is an accomplished rock climber who spends too much time hanging upside down at cliffs. Please join me in welcoming Ascanio.
Good evening. Thank you so much. So tonight, I'm going to touch a little bit about engagement, inspiration, because these are wonderful things that we brought to the table tonight. I'd like to ask a question real quick. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Wow, that's a whole lot of us. Okay.
Inspired.
Inspiring.
Entrepreneur.
Inspiring or aspiring?
Oh, inspired.
Or both, right?
Both.
You are inspiring, very inspiring athlete. So, what is the key component that determines success for a company?
Leadership.
Absolutely. Leadership is extremely important. What else? Results. Exactly. What is the one thing though? And Bob nailed it earlier. He talked about it. So what's that? He said, grab and engage. Engagement. Engagement is the number one factor in a corporation's health. You see, a lot of companies are obsessed with strategy. They look at financials. They look at R&D. They focus on technology. But the really, really successful ones aren't worrying about the smart strategy. They're working on the internal health of the organization. And the difference between those really healthy organizations and the unhealthy ones is employee engagement. If you own a business and you get those employees engaged, what do you think is going to happen to the results of your company? Pretty stratospheric, right? It's like the presentation you were speaking about. If you can't engage your audience, or you can't engage your employees, there will be no success. One of the things that Malai touched on earlier tonight was extremely interesting. He had a very serious issue. He lost one of his most important clients. And there's two ways really that he could have gone with it. And I want to shift everybody's attention now to energy. Anabolic energy and catabolic energy. What do you think anabolic energy is? Anybody can guess? Uche, come on, I know you got it.
It must have something to do with anabolic steroids. But the words are escaping me.
What do anabolic steroids do?
I know what anaerobic bacteria do.
What do they do?
Anaerobic bacteria is in the absence of oxygen. Anabolic must be in the absence of something. Right? Come on.
I love you, but it's not going to fly tonight. What we'll talk about is anabolic is basically creative. It's creative energy. And catabolic is destructive, exactly. Those are two frames. Everything you do in life is energy. Albert Einstein said, E is mc squared, right? The whole universe is energy. It's a big pot of energy. And it's when it comes to how we engage in life, there's anabolic engagement and then there's catabolic engagement. Malai was really sensible when he actually said that he could have become very catabolic. And he talked about being depressed and frustrated and unhappy with that result. When people engage in those destructive points of view, that mindset, you basically become destructive. You can't get anything done. But what he did instead was genius. He went into an anabolic state. And he started thinking about, well, what's the new opportunity here? As business leaders, you basically hit the nail on the head on the key to success. And it basically boils down to engagement, right? The whole presentation that he did, it was beautiful. It was a perfect setup. to really get people engaged, you want to take them from a catabolic state to an anabolic state. Companies in the US alone are spending billions of dollars in lost productivity because they can't engage their employees. It's an epidemic. And all they have to do is take those employees and get them more engaged. What are some of the ways that you would consider getting employees engaged?
A reward or incentive structure comes to mind.
Absolutely, rewarding incentive structure. Let's think about Toastmasters for a moment, because they're a great company that really gets its members engaged. What are some of the things that Toastmasters does? Right, acknowledgement. And believe it or not, money is not the most important thing when it comes for employees at work. They don't care about money as much as they care about being recognized, about making a contribution, about being a part of something where their values are aligned with the company's values. If they can get that alignment, then those employees are going to be way more engaged. So some of you might be asking, well, how do you actually do that? What's the process? How do you find out how engaged employees are? And I want to present to you the Energy Leadership Report. This is a 20-page report that literally gives the blueprint to an employee or a human being's attitude about everything in life. As a leadership coach, this gives me 3 months of intense coaching in about 1 hour. It tells me everything. You want to know about employees? There's actually questionnaires on the back. It tells you financial success, leadership ability, working relationships, how you get along with the employees, other employees. It can all be anonymous, but at the end, when I get the results, it tells me exactly where that employee is currently in their engagement with that company. But more importantly, it doesn't just tell me where they are, but it tells me why they are there. And most important of all, it tells me how to get them from here to over here, which is in optimal performance. It's one of the most powerful things on the planet that really allows me to tap into what it is that employees want and how to get them from A to B. How does this really apply to all of us in our lives? For those of us that maybe don't own a business, the key is awareness. And just by the simple fact of becoming aware of everything, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your opinions, your point of view, by becoming aware of it, you gain an incredible amount of power. Because then you're no longer at the effect of those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs. You're at the cause. And that's where the real power is. In relationships, think about it. Somebody approaches you and brings a problem. And you catch yourself all of a sudden getting defensive and going, whoa, what's going on here? You can actually choose in that moment, well, what do I want to do with this? Where do I want to go? Do I want to really fight about it, get catabolic? Or what about being anabolic? Taking responsibility and saying, sure, it's my fault. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. And actually being aware, noticing yourself, maybe getting a little puffy and just your blood starting to boil. It's one of the most powerful things that we as human beings can do to really take our consciousness to that next level. To really get a life and have it work for us, not against us. Living a life that's anabolic, not catabolic. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. We have right on 7 minutes. Thank you.
Awareness. Remember that, you guys. Awareness. Be aware. Great speech, Mr.
Thank you.